Hey guys, welcome to Heartbreak to Hot Girl with your host, Natalie Vanessa. I've got a little different setup. I've got a proper camera now. I'm still pending with the lighting, but we're working with it. We're going with it. So yes, how are you all doing? I hope you're good. I'm very excited about doing this episode today because a few of you, let me just get my mic right. A few of you have requested this. So I did a post on my page just about my story, as I always do. And I shared that obviously I became a homeowner after my divorce and breakup. And a few of you in the comments were like, girl, how did you do it? Tell me, how did you do it? So I don't want to say I've shied away from this, but sometimes I do shy away from this topic because one, I don't want to be giving financial advice to people because that's not what this platform's about. And two, I'm very conscious of making people feel like that they're not doing enough. I don't want my measure of success or the things that I have achieved be your measure of success. But I understand that people, obviously, home ownership is a thing that people want and thing that people aspire to. So if I can share part of my story and that can inspire people, then hopefully I will do that today. But I'm going to have a different take on it that you probably might be a little bit surprised at. If you're not already, please go over to my Instagram and follow Heartbreak to Hot Girl. I'd much appreciate it. We're on our way to 1,000 followers, which is amazing. So if you could contribute to that, I would much appreciate it. And if you want to head over to my personal Instagram, Natalie X, I would much appreciate that too. My goal is 20K followers on Instagram. We're getting there. I think we're like on 18. So if you can help me out with that goal, that would be great. And welcome back. If you've been with me before, then you already know the drill. This is the time when you get your hot drink, your hot beverage. And you know what? Today I don't actually have mine because I've actually finished it. So if you see on the visuals, I've got my empty mug here. I actually finished it because I drank it while I was preparing for the podcast. So I've had my hot drink today, but if you want to take this moment to put on the kettle, get your drink, get comfortable and spend some time with me. I always appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy day to spend with your girl, Natalie Vanessa. So today's episode, I've been thinking about it for a bit. Like I said, it's been kind of sitting on my chest for a while because I'm like, how do I approach this in the best way possible, the most sensitive way possible, and in the most empowering way as well? Because my page, my content is all about empowering that woman that feels like she needs that extra help. I don't want a woman to be set back in life, gone through a divorce and feel like she cannot come back from it. So my content is centered around that. And I hope that this episode will be empowering for you. So if you're the kind of person that, you've gone through a heartbreak, you're kind of getting yourself back on the feet and you're looking at your goals, what you want to achieve, and you think, wow, I want to be a homeowner. Hopefully this episode will give you some direction with that. So yes, I became a homeowner in what year was it? 2022? Yeah, 2022. I got my keys in December 2022 and didn't move in till the January. I'll give you the backstory for those that are new here. So yes, I separated from my husband in 2021. And I actually ended up moving back home to live with my mum and took my two kids with me. We actually shared a room in my mum's house for 18 months, which wasn't ideal, as you can imagine. And in that time, I just really got my head down because bearing in mind, I was a stay-at-home mum when I was married. I wasn't in my career job for at least 4 to 5 years. I was doing odd jobs here and there, had a little side business, but I was out of my career job. So I was not only adjusting to single parenthood, I was also trying to get my career back on track. And, honestly, I had some amazing opportunities. I managed to land a job within a month of us separating. It wasn't the pay was not great, but it did what it needed to do at that time. And on that small pay, I was saving like crazy. I was staying focused. I was doing my research on what do I need to do to qualify for a mortgage. And, I spoke to some mortgage advisors and kept on getting declined. I can't tell you how many times I got declined or, my salary was too low. I remember calling up this like sales office to like a new build property. Um, and when they told me that you'd have to be earning, I think it was like 60 or 70,000 a year to afford a home like this, I said, all right, we need to go back to the drawing board, because the salary that I was on was not anywhere near that at the time. But I didn't let that deter me. I could have basically said, look, I'll just move up from my mum's and go and rent somewhere, or apply for a council house. And no shame to anyone that does that. No shame in it at all, but I just knew that my story wasn't going to be that. And I was willing to stay at my mum's house until I was able to buy a house. And if that meant 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it was, I said to myself, I'm not leaving my mum's home again to go and rent. I am leaving to become a homeowner. And I think that is the key when you're on this journey, or if you want to achieve anything, you need to really make up in your mind that I am going for this no matter what. It doesn't matter the obstacles. It doesn't matter when people are telling you no. If you know in your heart of hearts that this is what you want and this is what you're going to do, I promise you, the universe, the earth, everything will shift to make sure that you get it. And I tell you, ladies, I became obsessed with this idea of owning my own home. I'd always wanted to own my own home. And you know what? In our marriage, I wanted us to buy a house, but it never happened. And you know what? I'm so happy it didn't happen, because if anyone's gone through a divorce where there's been a house that needs to be sold, I know it can be super messy. And you know what? I quite like the title of first time solo homeowner. Do you know what I mean? It's got a great ring to it. So everything kind of did work out in the end. But yeah, so I was getting a lot of no's on that salary. And then I think I was about 5 or 6 months into that job, and I was headhunted for a job that was closely linked to my career. So for those of you that don't know, I've got a master's in public health and my background is public health. So someone headhunted me. It wasn't directly linked to public health. It was housing and health, but it was good enough for me. The pay was significantly more than what I was on, so I would have been a fool to say no. So I jumped ship at, I think it was about, by the time I left, I was about 7 months into that job. I did not care. I said, I am jumping ship because I need to get a house, and I ain't going to get a house on this little salary that y'all are giving me. So I got to go. Anyways, so moved over to that job now. And then I thought, back to it. Let me get on the phone to these mortgage advisors. Let me find out what I can do now that my salary has significantly increased. And yes, spoiler alert, I got accepted. I've got a, what's it called? An agreement in principle, or mortgage in principle. Basically, it's when the lenders say to you, like, yes, in principle, we will lend you this money to buy the house, but obviously it's subject to checks and credit referencing and, you know, how much deposit you put down and everything else like that. So I had that principle. So that meant now that I could go and view houses. I could go and have a look. Now, this is where the next challenge came in, because yes, I was able to get a mortgage, but it wasn't quite what I thought it would be. So I had envisioned in my naivety a 3-bed, maybe semi-detached house, you know, and I had to scale back my dream just a little bit. I had to scale back my dream a little bit. And what I had to do was start looking at flats. Well, no, before I looked at flats, I was looking at 2 beds. Because I thought, okay, if I can't get a 3-bed, I'm going to have to get a 2-bed. So I started looking at the 2 beds and quickly realized that it was still going to be a bit tight for me to afford a 2-bed house. So I whittled it down again and started looking at the flats. And yes, I went for a 2-bed flat in the end. And that's the home that I'm in now, my beautiful, it feels like a house because my living room is upstairs and I've got this like Manhattan loft kind of situation going on. And then downstairs, I've got my bedrooms and kitchen and this beautiful big dining space with these like floor to ceiling windows. Honestly, I'm so blessed. So yeah, that's how it happened. I will also caveat here is that my mum also helped me out with the deposit. So I did save quite a bit myself, but my mum also helped with the deposit. So I know for some people don't have that option or don't have that opportunity to have help with the deposit. So it does make things harder. And that is part of the reason why I was a bit reluctant to share my story, because I didn't want you guys to think this is a rags to riches kind of story. I'm starting from a different point to some of you. Some of you may have help doing it, but along my journey, either way, it is still a testament of working through adversity and, you know, not giving up, because it's not easy to get a mortgage. I tell you that. All the stuff that they go through, like your finances, If you got any debt, like, I would advise you to get rid of any debt that you can. So I had a bigger deposit, but it was kind of advised to me to get rid of I had a car loan, to pay that off. So I paid it off. And then, so that meant I had a slightly smaller deposit. But yeah, if you've got any kind of debt like that, like bad debt, credit card debt, just clear all of that first, because it will reduce the amount of mortgage that they give you. So that is my story. That is how I did it. And in that, I want you to really realize that it is important for you to make sure, yes, you have your goal, but sometimes things don't always go to plan. And sometimes you have to pivot. Sometimes you have to change slightly just to achieve that goal. But one thing with me, I became super, super obsessed. Like, I lived on Rightmove. Every single day I was on Rightmove, looking at flats, looking at houses, on the phone to the estate agents, on the phone to my mortgage advisor. It was really a hyperfixation for me. And I do believe if you are going to buy a house, or if you're going to achieve anything that big, then you need to become hyperfixated on it. So yes, buying a home did not make me successful. I want to put a caveat there. Buying a home didn't heal me. Buying a home didn't solve all my problems. In fact, when I got the keys to the place, it didn't feel like a big celebration. It didn't feel like, oh my gosh, like I finally made it. Yes, I was really proud of myself, but it was more of a, okay, I've come home. I finally have a space that I can call my own, where I feel safe, where I feel at peace. And I did this. I did it. No one else. I did it. I mean, my mum helped me. Shouts to my mums. But you know what I mean? I put in the work to achieve it. And yes, it was amazing thing. So you've heard my story, but this is where I want to put a little spin on it and interrupt this narrative that we have to be successful, we have to be a homeowner, or to be successful, we have to have a marriage, or, the wedding ring, or have children. And I want to redefine it for you guys today, because some people see that stuff and they don't ask, are you emotionally safe? Are you well? Are you at peace? What is your mental health saying? Can you sit at home alone without panicking, without feeling lonely or worthless? Can you do all those things? People aren't asking those questions, but they see you with the keys to the house. They see you with the nice shiny car on the drive. They see you, on your wedding day, and they think everything is together. And I will tell you, when I was on my wedding day and the months after that was probably the most depressing period of my life. But on the face of it, no one would have thought. Everyone would have thought, well, Natalie, like she's done really well. She's 25, 20, well, how old was I was 26 at the time, already had my child, getting married. Like, on the face of it, it looked like, oh, she had won. I had completely lost in life. And yes, people might look at me now and say, you're a homeowner and you've won. But the only reason why I feel like I've won now is because I chose myself before that. I've really gone on a journey and really healed myself from the inside out. So when you see the success, when you see the house, when you see me rattling the keys on my Instagram page, just know that a lot went into it. And the journey is what transformed me. So the part that people don't want to get into, like, yes, I was on the phone to my mortgage advisor, but there was another advisor that I was seeing weekly. And that was my therapist, Dawn. Shout outs to Dawn. I always talk about Dawn. My therapist honestly saved my life. Had I not gone through therapy and really addressed the heartbreak, the trauma, and the things that I went through, I wouldn't have the right mindset and resilience to go after becoming a homeowner. So it might not be the things that you want to hear in this podcast, where I'm telling you on the hacks that you need to do to become a homeowner. But these were the greatest hacks for me, because had my mind not been right, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it at all. So I did that therapy sessions weekly for at least 6 months. Part of my savings and my investment into myself was investing into therapy at 50 odd pounds a session. It's not cheap. But look where it got me. Look where it got me now. I had periods where I was super, super lonely. I was really hurting, but the therapy really, really helped me. So over time, I started rebuilding my confidence. I started going out there, started partying, probably a little bit too much. But I was regaining me. As I was going on the journey of buying my home, I was slowly but surely becoming Natalie again. And I lost her for so many years. And you know what? There was a few times that maybe I thought about going back to my ex, only because it was difficult. It was difficult, but it was a new type of difficult because the relationship that I was in for 10 plus years, it wasn't plain sailing, I'll tell you that. It was emotionally draining and exhausting. But now it was a different kind of difficulty that I was dealing with. And it was more the difficulty that I needed to learn what it was like to be on my own. And you know what? When I got the keys to my house and moved into my place for the first time, and the first night that I slept here properly, I felt alone. I felt really alone because before I'd been living with my mum. Before that, I was living with my husband. This was the first time in my whole adult life where I was the only adult in the house. And yes, there was a bit of fear around it. Can I cope looking after the kids on my own? But that soon went. It soon went. So this home really taught me how to be comfortable on my own. It taught me how to feel safe on my own. It taught me to stay boundaried. This is my safe space that not anyone can come into. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I'm behind, you're not behind. You're right on track. And your level of success and the outcomes that you have isn't determined by what anyone else thinks. Your level of success cannot be measured against my level of success. Buying a home was a great big vision for me. And I was only able to achieve it when I had those little successes along the way. For someone else, success might just look like going to the gym or going for a walk instead of sitting down and watching TV all day, or wiping your tears and going to do the school run. Success is literally anything that you have overcome. If you're making progress as the days go on, as the weeks go on, as the years go on, that is success. And that's something that I realized the other day when someone asked me, what are your goals for 2026, Nat? What are your goals? What are your dreams? And I really thought about it and I thought, I'm literally living my dreams. I'm literally living my dream. And some people might say, no, maybe you need to dream some more. Maybe you need to have some more things on the list. Those things can come. Like, yes, I would love to earn more money. Yes, I would like a bigger house. But I earn money at the moment. I have a home. Like, there's nothing new that can be added to my life right now. I'm grateful for everything. My children are healthy and well. I'm healthy and well. My mum is healthy. My friends, family, everyone is well. So what more could I want in this life? Yes, you can get more brand deals. It's just more. But I'm learning to be so happy with where I'm at right now. And my goal is just to keep on showing up. My goal is to keep on pushing. Yes, it would be nice for my accounts on Instagram and TikTok to grow to 100K, 200K, 500K. But there's almost 20K of you here already. You know, I've already got people following me. I've already impacted lives. I've already made friends from just being and showing up online. I feel like I have won already. And this is the perspective that you guys need to have as well. If you have the bare minimum, a home, you can eat, your children are healthy and well, you're of a sound mind, that you're safe, you've won. And that gratitude will literally take you through life, because we can want these things. We can say, oh, once I become a homeowner, everything's going to fall into place. Girl, I'll tell you, being a homeowner is no joke. Being a homeowner comes with a lot of financial stress and responsibility, which some people will be like, I don't want that stress. Renting is definitely more stress-free. It's expensive, but you don't have to worry about when the boiler goes. You don't have to worry about, my son knocked off the radiator off my wall. Yeah, I'm still not over it. I keep on mentioning it. I'm still not over it, guys. He knocked off the radiator of my wall. Literally, it's behind me if you're watching the visuals. Cost me £150 to fix it. I had to fix it because I'm a homeowner. My point is, sometimes we have these dreams and these goals, but when we get there, it's not quite how we envisioned it. So I want you to repurpose your mind, redirect your mind to finding gratitude today, and using people's story like mine, not as a comparison, as to say, yes, I want to achieve the things that Natalie Vanessa did, but rather look at my journey of resilience, of the fact that I showed up and I didn't give up. I didn't let a no stop me. I became obsessed with getting where I needed to get to. That is the part of the story that you should look at, that you should admire. Because in doing so, when you're going on your journey and getting to wherever you need to go to, you will appreciate it a lot more. I've heard so many celebrities, so many people at the top that have said once they get everything they want, it becomes meaningless. It doesn't become as fulfilling. It becomes, the feeling of happiness is so fleeting. It comes and it goes. I mean, how many times can you be excited over buying a new car? After a while, it's going to get boring. And I think that's what happens with people that are at the top, that have all the money. They realize that the goal that they were going for wasn't really it. And yes, you're probably thinking it's easy for you to say this now when you're sat in a home that you own. But honestly, if you listen to any kind of successful person, any celebrity, anyone that's got money, anyone that's kind of made it to the top of society, a lot of them say the same thing. And they tend to try and seek out excitement, seek out novelty. Because when you've got a certain amount of money, that what is surprising for you? What is exciting now? Nothing. And this is why the journey is what's exciting. The journey is what builds us as people. The journey is what makes it worthwhile. And I love this journey that I'm on. I'm just sitting in my flat with my little Rode mic and my camera. No one else is here, and I'm just chatting to you guys. Yes, this could blow up and become a massive, massive thing. But I will look back at these days and be like, I love this moment. I love the fact that I'm able to reach so many of you from the comfort of my home. And may that continue and may that grow. So if you've got something that you're working on at the moment, it might be a business idea or a goal that you want to achieve. I don't know. You might want to get into your dream job or your dream car, whatever it may be, even a holiday. Maybe you want to take your kids on a beautiful family holiday. For me, I would love to take my kids to Jamaica. I want to do a 5-star all-inclusive hotel right by the beach, 2 weeks, all paid for. That is a dream to me. But the journey is me getting there. The excitement is me hustling. The excitement is, okay, how many brand deals can I get to fund that? You know, can I get a promotion at work to fund that? That is the exciting bit. So yes, have your goals, have something that you're working towards. And if home ownership is for you, if it is something you want to take on, don't let that be the thing that is going to define your life. We often do this as well. I'm going to sidetrack a little bit, but we often do this as women with marriage. And I see a lot of it online that the top of their life, that their biggest life achievement is to get married, is to be a wife. Then what? What happens when you do it? Because coming from a woman that did it at 26 and now is divorced, I'm telling you, it's not all cracked up as you think it is. It is not all that it's cracked up to be. I promise you, it's a lot of work, okay? It's a lot of cooking and cleaning and doing all that stuff if you're a traditional woman. So think, why do you want to be a wife? What is it? Is it more the fact you just want to be chosen by a man? Because if that is the case, sis, we need to reevaluate your goal there. I honestly believe now that marriage should just be a cherry on the top of a beautiful cake that you have made for yourself. The beautiful life that you have or the growth that you've made in yourself. The marriage or the ring now just becomes that little cherry on top. But I think as women, sometimes we miss that. Sometimes we get caught up in I just want to get married again. I quite often see people getting their divorce and running back into the arms of another man. And I worry about women like that because I'm like, at what point do you heal? At what point do you rest? At what point do you take time out for yourself to grow, to find out who you are? But a lot of us are just focused on that end goal. And that end goal usually seems to be a man for some of us. No shade, but no shade, but shade also. There are more important things in life, I promise you. But the message still stands. It's about the journey, ladies. It's about the journey it takes to get there. Along my journey to becoming a homeowner, I learned the discipline of saving money. I learned the discipline of keeping my finances in order. Because you need to do that, and now I have the responsibility of running and maintaining a home. That's the journey that I'm on. So it doesn't stop. Once you get to your goals, it doesn't stop. It's not a magic pill or a magic moment where everything will be great. It's just another point in your journey and you'll keep on rising and keep on going. And if you are someone that is just going through your heartbreak at the moment and it's fresh and you're looking at people like myself or you're looking at other people that seem to be thriving, seem to be doing well in life, sometimes you don't know what these people have done to get there. I know there's a lot of people that wouldn't be willing to do what I did. Some people are too proud to pack up their bits and move home. I've seen it. I've seen women that don't want to pack up their life and just take the L and start their life again. They would rather keep up image. And I'm telling you, I was not about that at all. So some people are just not willing to go on that that journey and that path. You see the success, you see the outcomes, but there's a testimony to it. There's always a journey to it. So if you're in your heartbreak stage, like I said, it's fine. You're building, you're on your journey. And you know what? You are further along than you think. Think back to day one when you left him or he left you, however it transpired. Think back to that day one and how broken you were, how you couldn't even function, maybe eat or sleep, how you could barely even look after the kids, barely shower, barely brush your teeth. Like, days were tough. And then now, yes, a year might have gone by. You might still be crying about it, but you're going to work. You're eating, you're sleeping. You might have even started going to the gym. Give yourself grace. If progress has been made, then that is a win. That is success. I hope my story today will help you guys not just become a homeowner, but that's amazing, but help you guys stay on your journey and stay on your path, because it's not easy. It is not easy. And you need to be super proud of where you've come from. You need to be super proud of how far you've come. So guys, if you're not already, please drop me a follow over on Instagram, NatalieVanessa.x, it's NatalieVanessa.x, and over on my podcast page, Heartbreak to Hot Girl. Follow me there, give me a comment, let me know what else you want me to speak about. But thank you so much for spending time with me today. And yeah, make sure you stay hot. Okay, girls? Love ya. Bye.